Good morning, people. Right, it is Monday, the 23rd of March 2020, and first trade of the day, unusual for me, Euro USD. What I do is run a few charts, look at the indicator, look at the candles, for example, where we are on the quickest way I find is just make sure we're trading with the H4 or in fact the daily, which is why that green TM, I forget the indicator name, let's have a look. Excuse me. Where is it? TMT daily candle, that one there. So as you can see, there's a list of all my indicators here, so you can Google most of them. Oh, you can't see that, it's off screen. There you go, TMT daily candle is that one. Don't really use it apart from the fact that it's just a quick idea of where the price is. In other words, it's above the open of the price, it's green. If it's below the opening price for the day, it's red. Currency strength alert is that one there. Silver cross is my own name of this indicator here. It's just a 2MA crossover. And this one on this instance on the daily is the 1/3. On the H4, apologies, it's the 1/3 EMA, which is really what these break and close candles are. They break and close low, high, high, low, high, high, and then we do the same song until we get a close below there. And more often than not, it's the 1/3. So that's that. You just need an MA crossover. All averages is the moving average there. This one is named for myself again, I forget what it's called, session ID or something like that. It just draws a vertical line on the charts, and the reason I put the exclamation marks on them is because, or rename them, same reason for all these silly things on my templates, is that they get, if I add an exclamation mark there, then it will become top of the pile, as it were. That's how it works. This chart, just approach the chart, look for the best looking potential scenario. We had actually broken and closed above the this is the lowest low, this red one here. The daily had this is the high low, lower high, lower low scenario. The daily had closed and broken, so it was definitely solid potential for longs. Then I drew the highs on all the daily candles. I did it start on the monthly right up the top, so not, I don't mean the line at the top, but right at the top of the highest time frame. Monthlies, as I suggest you do all the time. So we've got monthly low here, monthly low here, monthly low here. Possibly I put the monthly low on there, it was the same as that when it's hidden, but you got the idea now that these will act as potential resistance for any move upwards. So anything above the price in terms of support to the lows of the candles needs to be drawn on the charts, and then in the same way we do with the weekly, and weekly low above the price, weekly low above the price, but we don't need to worry because we're scalping way down here. So this would be the only one potentially to be tested. And we also know, remember, when a support level, even that one, is broken, then price will most likely go and test it. So that's what happened, that's what's happening at the moment. So I am in fact trading a retracement. Same with all the dailies that may affect the price. So this daily low, you have to go to the left of your chart as well and put the lows in here, because they will potentially act as resistance again. I hope you're getting the plan now, but there was such a long there's none on these. You can't see any green lines obviously, because at this stage when I'm on the daily chart I'm realizing that there is no way. We've got so much stuff to go through, even to the point of this daily high here I didn't even draw on the chart. So I'll show you exactly what I would do, and maybe later the price will come up there. So there's nothing to stop you getting a second, third or fourth trade in this, because that that. Sorry, I think I might have mentioned a weekly, a daily. No, I didn't. It was an H4 reversal, wasn't it? Of course it was. Apologies. I might have said it was a daily reversal. In fact, it's an H4 reversal, so high, low, lower, high, lower, low, low, high, higher, low, higher, high, and close. So that was my reason for trading this. India's green, below zero currently, but it's green. And then getting into the meat and potatoes of this, H1, drawing lines above, on the H1 levels above my chart, and then waiting and watching. And this is the 6. We're at 6:35 in the morning. My daily wages were earned about 10-15 minutes ago. In fact, less than that, 10 minutes ago. So this was the green light to go, if you like. Break of the 20, momentum. This was a strong close through as well, or not close through, but break upwards momentum on the hourly chart. So it really was a no-brainer, really, to have a go at this EU, which is not. So it's not about sticking with one chart and understanding one chart with this method. It's all about just using the indicators. As I've said, they are powerful. Never listen to anyone that tells you indicators are rubbish and they're lagging and such like. They do lag a little bit when you're in the middle of the London Open or whatnot, so then you have to apply your knowledge of candlesticks. But that's why I'm teaching this method, because the candlesticks obviously, in my opinion, rule the roost, and then the indicators are very valuable, but with a proviso, as it were. So you can see my momentum move on this 30-minute chart as well, although I don't really study the 30-minute that much, but you've got the same thing going on here. And I'm sure if I ever have the time to really go on the statistics of this is just as good. Above zero, red to green, momentum move. Above zero, red to green, momentum move. A little bit more close statistical analysis of this to really learn which ones are the best ones, and that's why this is handy. But if I didn't have this, I'd do the same as when I learnt about this and apply the candlesticks. If you get this scenario with the red turned green, and you've got a break of all of this resistance, then watch for a little pullback, that's it there, and then enter again. So there's got to be a way of learning how to use this better. I've had this on the charts 15 years, I've had this on the charts about 3 months, if memory serves me correctly. So that's why I won't take off this proprietary indicator yet, until I've learnt the ins and outs of this one. So target for this was this area here, which I drew, just slung a manual level on there that represented this. I know it's all behind a load of rubbish now, but this flip zone here. The ultimate target was this gap here, and I reckon it'll go up to that, or that support level, because this was a gap. We don't really worry about these little levels here too much, because they represent 5 minutes, and although there are hourly highs here, so you do have to be a bit careful. If I can show those on the hourly chart, but if you start drawing every level in, you'll end up causing yourself a load of grief. So just go for sensible areas, and as I say, this was a flip zone, and I forget what time frame it was on now. Might have been H4 actually. There, that high, and produced that open little tail in there, and that I could see there was some sort of congestion there. So never get greedy. This was a 9 pip net of spread trade, and that's nearly 2 days worth of pips on my daily requirement, 5 pips a day. and then you won't suffer the pain of drawdown and aggravation, and it's all about confidence in this thing. And as I say, I drew these descending and ascending trend lines like I always do. That's connected to that because that's broken by that. This one is connected to that because that's broken, that higher high, by that. And that's how I validate my trend line drawings, as it were. And then, as you can see, when this wasn't here, it came back and tested that descending, the tightened up, I like to call it, ascending trend line. So that's it, guys. I'll upload this and go and make some breakfast. And it's still 20 to 7 in the morning. And as I like to call it, my grinding period. Why would they crash this down before the Frankfurt Open and take out my stops? They've been trending it upwards through the night, through the Asian session. So why would they reverse it during, before the Frankfurt? Of course they could, if there's anyone watching this really closely. All the Frankfurt boys got up like me at 5 a.m. But I've done this so often. This grinding period has been my meat and my bread and butter, to use a different analogy, for years and years and years now, and I trust it, and it earns for me. It has done for years, and over a decade almost, and that's the way I think of it. Frankfurt boys may well come in and crash this just to mess with everyone's heads and take out all the stops that people have been perhaps putting behind here and behind here, and then they may reverse it up, which is why I don't want to be in those. I don't want to try and outthink the professionals. I just want to follow their lead. Okay, trend trading, support and resistance, and a little bit of indicator work thrown in for good measure. Have a great day, guys. Have a great week even, and stay safe. Stay indoors.